everything is basically shut down until there's a clear picture of what's what the health of the region is going to be. Um, Total and Eni have given notice to the Cypriot government that they won't proceed with a planned well in Block 6. I think it was early April, maybe, that ExxonMobil notified the government that they wouldn't proceed with the drilling in Block 10 for at least a year. Both of those, I think Total and Eni may come back within a year's time, and then ExxonMobil will probably be next September. So there's a good year to 18 months, so nothing really happening for that. As far as Aphrodite is concerned, there had been no scheduled plans to do development work on site at the Aphrodite field. So there you go. We've got a period of just waiting again. I mean, Cyprus has been through this before, as far as waiting for things to happen in the hydrocarbon sector. The latest thing to happen is, of course, the well in Lebanon, which, while it's not commercial, I understand that there were pretty good indications that there may be some sort of a gas resource near to the well that they drilled there in Block 4. That was the name of the well, but that is in Block 4. There's still speculation that Total and Eni may get to drill in Block 9 in Lebanon by the end of the year. But I think that, I think the queue is just sort of building up. You're going to have Eni doing Cyprus when it gets going, and then I think it had plans to do maybe 3 wells right after another, and so we're just going to see how that goes. The whole region is is just waiting. The exception, of course, is Turkey, which is very keen to establish its presence in the Cyprus exclusive economic zone. Whether I mean, I think it has started its 6th well. I think it's in Block 6 as well, although it is in the area that Turkey claims as its continental shelf. So it's not down near the area where Total and Eni had planned to drill. All the same, that block is licensed to Total and Eni by the Cyprus government, and Turkey is imposing itself there, as it has on, I guess this is the 6th occasion. We'll see if it continues to do that. Regarding the coronavirus, it's hitting Turkey pretty hard. It's hitting it harder than it's certainly hit other places in the region, and so that's having a big impact on the Turkish economy. The currency there is really falling, and so you just don't know. I mean, how much money is Turkey willing to spend on drilling these wells when they don't look very prospective to begin with, and furthermore, you don't know the outcome. Even if it should make some kind of discovery, of course, it would be like totally overblown, but it would be ammunition for Turkey to insist on, its position regarding any future negotiations regarding the Cyprus problem. Israel, I think that it is going to be pretty quiet as well. Noble Energy has cut back a lot. It's reduced its budgets. Of course, Noble is occupied with other places. I think in the U.S. where the situation regarding oil production is pretty serious, and so I think Noble is probably preoccupied with that. It has managed to get the Leviathan on stream, and they're is the gas flow to Egypt now without and Tamar. Another problem with Israel is that the Delek group is facing some real serious problems regarding its creditors, and the price of oil caused um, the valuation of Delek shares to fall pretty seriously, causing its the creditors to lose faith in Delek's ability to repay its loans. Um, Delek has already sold off a lot of assets, and you just don't know how far that's going to go before they can balance things out. Of course, they're loath to lose any of their energy assets. So, I mean, that's Delek's a big group, and they've been, you know, shuffling their decks over there and trying to find, what they can sell to satisfy their creditors and maintain, some sort of healthy stake in their energy investments. In Egypt, I think that Egypt is still pretty much working. I'm not sure. I mean, there seem to be precautions, and the decline in the gas market, which demand in oil, demand for gas, this has fallen seriously for all producers globally, and so Egypt has essentially stopped LNG production, which it had just basically gotten started again, but there's just the demand, the price of LNG is way down, the price of gas, that pipeline is coming down. So, the whole world is just going to have to reconfigure and wait. And I'm hoping that the situation will ultimately work to the benefit of Cyprus and the other countries in the region because of the state of the markets. The gas market in particular is, there's I think was it around $2 or something for a million BTU. It's really, really very low. So I mean, the world is just awash with oil and gas, and the markets aren't there right now because people aren't using stuff as much as they were, and factories are closed down, manufacturing. I don't know if people are using as much power, and certainly in regard to oil, transportation has really fallen off due to the lockdowns. So I'm hoping that this will work for the better, for the best for the region, because it'll give, by the time they do restart drilling and get things going again and get development working, it'll be probably the second part of this decade. And so, maybe by that time the markets will sort themselves out. There'll be a renewed demand. You don't know where it's going to go. I mean, in the course of this, I've seen a lot of speculation about the impact that this drop in demand for oil and gas will have on renewables, and it could be that a lot of companies will see this as an opportunity to pursue renewables sooner than what they would have. So it's going to be, I think it's going to take a good year or two for all of this to really be sussed out. I mean, bear in mind, the switch to renewables, if you bear in mind the Paris Climate Accord agreement, a major shift's going to have to take place anyway. They're going to have to shift around the models, the energy models, the economic models, in order to address the issues that we're confronted with regarding climate change. So why not do them now? Why not go ahead and sort of get on that bus and ride? So that's I mean, there's a lot of things to think about, a lot of things to consider. I don't think that this is the end of the gas industry for the region, but we'll see. There's going to be some adjustments. You know, there's going to be some adjustments. So I think we've covered Nile Delta, the Egypt thing. There's, you know, that's very prospective area. It's going to stay prospective. Again, it's all going to depend on how the future goes, the future markets, economies. But I think that's going to be important for a long time. Egypt will continue to be a big market and a big producer, and well, I mean, you know, as far as the region's concerned. So, you know, there's going to be an impact, but I can't really say that I think it's going to be negative or positive. I think that something will happen that will create a certain amount of equilibrium there. As far as future transportation projects, again, when we're talking, I think what's getting a lot of attention, or what has of late, is the East Med gas pipeline project. And this has always been highly speculative from the beginning. I think it'll continue to be. That's 2,000 kilometers worth of subsea pipeline that will go to depths of 3 kilometers for 10 BCM capacity a year. I don't know. $7 billion for that. I just don't know. And that is another issue that's got Turkey so worked up. That's why it has been so, which is one of the reasons why it's been so keen to establish its blue homeland, which it claims stretches as far as Libyan waters. And so, you know, I think we're in the realms of fantasy here, but I mean, the pipeline, technically it could work. We'll see if Europe really needs to go ahead with that. But again, I think a few years, although the political impetus behind it is pretty strong. But we'll see what happens if there's an investment impetus comes with it. And again, that won't be until there's a lot of drilling, until there's a substantial amount of gas available for export in the East Mediterranean. I'm inclined to think that if there are some substantial discoveries made in the Cyprus EEZ, that they would probably be aggregated to and directed to an onshore LNG plant here in Cyprus. Back to the original idea that came out, nearly 10 years ago. And I think that Cyprus would prefer that. Nobody's said that because you've got this political pipeline thing going, but I think that's really what would be preferred. I don't know if the Israelis would want to take part in that, and of course, anything that the Israelis take part in, the Lebanese will not take part in. So, and also, Egypt has its own LNG industry that it's keen to develop, and so again, it's all going to depend on how much drilling is done in the years ahead, and what resources are made available, and what demand there may be for East Med LNG or gas, and you know how much investment companies are willing to put into it. the future of regional energy cooperation is something that I think has a positive future. I think, I mean, unless things really get awful somewhere and spread here, I think that for the most part, the countries want to cooperate. Certainly, Cyprus, Greece, and Israel have made it clear that they're interested in cooperating, most significantly with the East pipeline. But I think that cooperation isn't limited to that. I think that there's still like this Eurasia interconnector system that the company here in Cyprus is hoping to put together. Could be if it doesn't go, if the interconnector doesn't go all the way to mainland Greece, it could connect Egypt, Israel, Cyprus. We'll see about that. I think the East Mediterranean Energy Forum is a very good platform for the countries of the region to meet in. I think it builds a political allies. I think it sort of allows everybody in the region to get to play a role one way or another. I mean, there's some countries such as Jordan who doesn't have these resources yet. It's been invited. It's to participate. Same with the Palestinians who do have resources and gas and marine, but have never been really allowed to develop them. Ultimately, Lebanon may get involved in that, but we'll see. So I think that the forum is, I think that's a very good way to move the whole region forward. Exception there, of course, as always, is Turkey, and Turkey's denounced the organization because I'm just under the impression that Turkey just wants to run the whole show, and that it has to be in charge of whatever it is that it's involved in as far as this region goes. But the other countries just aren't interested in having that. The other groups that I think have proved to be very beneficial are the trilateral meetings of Greece and Cyprus and Israel, Greece and Cyprus and Egypt. I think there's one Greece, Cyprus, and Jordan. I think they've considered Greece, Cyprus, Lebanon, and those are good too. I think Cyprus has done really well on organizing these sort of things. It builds political support for its cause, of course, trying to end the Turkish occupation, but also, it also connects the businesses, allows governments to see what they might be able to do together. This is in contrast to 15 years ago when they really weren't working together very well. But I think I'm not an advocate of saying that pipelines or peace pipelines or anything like that. I mean, usually they're more of a source of conflict. But I think that there are projects that oriented towards energy that all these countries can cooperate in, either as a bunch or bilaterally or trilaterally, or even bigger under the auspices of the East Med energy form, gas form, sorry. And so, you know, I think there's a lot that's going to happen. It's just that, you know, we're all it's all out to lunch right now. You know, it'll be a while before we can actually feel as if the whole, you know, the region is taking off in the way that I think that most people would like